Hello everyone, I hope you're well. I wanted to do a video and talk to you today about a book I'm reading called Think and Grow Rich. It's a take on the famous book by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. But this book has just completely changed my life and I wanted to share the experiences with you about it. It's really coincided with the Practitioner course that I've just done, with everything that's kind of taking place this year and the shifts that have happened over the last 2 years since I started the Practitioner. So essentially, the idea of Think and Grow Rich is makes me happy just thinking about it, yo. Basically, it's utilising the idea of gratitude and how gratitude is probably the most important factor in creating happiness for us today. And even being grateful for the things that really cause us masses of distress and really bad things. So for example, my furniture was not delivered today, and I was, second time that they haven't delivered it, and I was like, okay. I'm really grateful that my furniture didn't get delivered today. That's okay. And then I was able to go and do a few other things. I was able to indulge in a few other practices and also put some stuff into place which I wouldn't have been able to, or maybe I wouldn't have had the time to. I'm not sure how it would have worked out. But it's just really incredible because this book was written by a lady called Pam Grout and was put into my vision, into my path, into my alignment by a wonderful girl I know called Katie, who is a belly dancer. Now I remember I started belly dancing with her, when I was starting out, and now she has her own school and she's been on TV and she's travelled the world, and she just has this attitude which is just phenomenal. It just radiates out of her and it's pure positivity and light and it's just gorgeous, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta know her secret. So I ended up speaking to her and she said to me, Reena, you've got to read this book called Think and Grow Rich. It's amazing. And also this other book called E Squared. She actually recommended me to the book E Squared, which I read and it was good. It's basically got these experiments in there that allow you to have access and tap into the idea of the universe and what the universe can actually do for you, and that essentially it's always working in your favour. Everything is always working in your favour for you to be surviving, for you to be doing well, for you to be thriving in your best possible sense. So I did the first experiment and it worked like a dream. It was crazy how it happened. And the second experiment, I got a bit happy. It didn't work quite as well, but I understand that it was to do with my mindset and my framework of how I was putting it into practice, basically. But I'm a big believer of the universe anyway, so I understand that it works and I believe it very much. But I suggested it to a friend of mine, another friend of mine called Patience. And she read that book, but then she said to me, Reena, there's another book called Think and Grow Rich, and this book was amazing. So same author, and I read it. I do something called immersive reading, which means that you read on the Kindle, so you read in front of you as well as listen to it, which is something I used to do when I was a kid with storybooks. So it's so good that I can do it now as an adult. So yeah, and then I just ended up reading it, and I now constantly read it, because when I first read it, I was in tears for some of it, because I just felt so full of gratitude. There was a point when I was on the third Practitioner course in December to January that I was so grateful for the food that I was eating, that I was looking into my bowl of porridge and I couldn't continue to eat because of the tears of joy and gratefulness and gratitude that I had. I understood that this bowl of food in front of me that I was eating was absolutely free, and it had been donated by people who had done the course. And because if you go to a Practitioner course, it's completely free, you don't pay to go on there. But the food was free. The food was given to me. It was given to me because people believed that this technique worked. and I felt such an insane amount of gratitude. It's getting me all teary now, yo. It was insane. So when I read this Thank and Grow Rich, I started to feel some insane shifts, and then I went to the second course, the Satipatthana, second sitting of Vipassana this year, and everything seemed to cement into place. In the last discourse, Goenka says, or even just generally, Goenka says from Vipassana, the person who runs it and also does the discourses, he's the one that brought the technique from the east to the west. He says there's two things that you feel, and it's this idea of gratitude, deep sense of gratitude if you're doing the technique correctly, and also if you want to be of service to people. And the gratitude, this book was like, it's like a top-up. It's like the thing that you read so that you can just make sure you remind yourself of this. And I'm telling you, just being so grateful for everything that is around me, especially the bad stuff, has made such a massive difference in my life and puts me in such a fantastic state. There's a coach called Tony Robbins who talks about states a lot of the time. I use it in my coaching as well. And putting yourself in a particular state first thing in the morning will get you in such a good place and also enable you to do so much more than you would be capable of than if you were in a worse off state. I was indulging in a Bear Grylls video the other day. When he does, I think it's when he goes to like a place and he's just like in the middle of nowhere and then he has to like survive. He says about the state of mind and about how you react to it, and it's all that. It's all about being grateful for what you have and being grateful for the fact that things might not work out because something else is going to come along and something else is going to work out even better for you. So I think that was just amazing. And I tell you what's been the biggest shift. I've been doing affirmations since about 2009, and I've had like a list of affirmations where I've just literally listed them, and then I have like ended up doing the same affirmations for years, and I've done them and they've worked. It's been great, it's been fine, and I've changed them and shifted them slightly because my needs and my wants changed, but essentially it's been the same thing because I've still been wanting the same thing, more money, car, house, this, that, the other, whatever, relationships, whatever, friends. And then in the book it tells you to, instead of doing affirmations, thank the universe and thank yourself for the things that you already have. And this was the game changer. This was the massive game changer. My voice changes as well, which is something that also happened during the Practitioner, which was crazy. So for example, I'm fitter and more healthy every day. That was my original affirmation. I change it to thank you for the movement that I have within my body. Thank you for the ability to get up and walk to the bathroom, get up and walk to anywhere that I need to, for my knees working, for my eyelids working, for my elbows working, for my skin being there. It just rolls and it changes every day, so it never becomes repetitive. It's always a constant new vibration that I'm putting out in terms of my gratitude for what I've got. And then, but essentially the affirmation is still the same, so with my body. And then with my relationships, I'm really grateful for all of the relationships I've been in, for all of the interactions that I've had, for all of the friends that I have, for all of the arguments, for all the things that didn't work out. I'm really grateful for all of that, because then I think about the things that, I got instead. So it's just a massive game changer. And I just feel like there's been a real shift in my perception and being grateful for all the things that happen. And the little things just don't seem to bother me that much. I don't know whether that's just to do with the Vipassana, but I know that these two things are intrinsically linked and they really are powerful. So I suggest that you read it. It's got I think it's 27 party games, she calls them, but they're experiments. And they have loads of examples of how people have indulged in gratitude and really gone for it and really been grateful for everything. Absolutely everything. From illnesses such as cancer to, you know, the simple things such as traffic, you know, and how this has really affected them in so many ways, and how it honestly is one of the most powerful things I've ever come across in all of my coaching, in everything. And I've never really had an opportunity to really like understand it as well as I do now. I'm just so grateful for everything, and it just makes me so happy. I was gonna swear then, but it makes me so happy, so ultimately happy. And you know, it reminds you of this state as well. It puts you in direct line with the law of attraction, because you know, I was thinking about money, and I was thinking, oh my God, like, you know, I haven't got, like, you know, my money situation is not the greatest, whatever. But then I was like thinking to myself, hang on a minute, right? Let's look at some facts, yeah? See all of this, see this camera, see this sofa, see everything, see these clothes, yo, see everything. I manifested that stuff, yo. I manifested everything around here. I'm just so utterly grateful for it all. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. I manifested this roof over my head. I manifested it all. I brought it into reality. It's mine. I'm so grateful for it already. I have it. Look at what I've got, man. Look at all this cool shit I've got. So, you know, it's just wonderful. So the power of gratitude, man. Indulge, embrace, completely drown yourself in it, because it will be something that will encourage you to just live life to its fullest, and also give you everything you want, you know, and be happy with what you have. So yeah, the power of gratitude, Jill. Just wanted to share that, and I hope I'd love to know your experiences. Let me know, tell me about it, tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm chatting crap or whatever. I'm grateful for that, man. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, you take care. All the best. And lots of love. Alright, you take care.